Well, good evening, y'all. How's everybody doing?
Great.
That's it?
Great.
We still in the middle of a panoramic. And we sitting here together about to eat some good food. So I know we're doing better than just, I'm all right. So how y'all doing? Better than we deserve. That's what we are. We are so glad, like Ms. Shireen said, to have you all here with us tonight. We are very excited to be hosting you for our annual dinner. We are very blessed to have Coach Jennings with us, and we had a wonderful session with her during our VIP time. Did y'all enjoy talking to her?
Yes.
Asking questions? So like Shireen said, that is just a sneak peek into what she is going to offer us in just a few moments. So we want to, again, just make sure that everyone's having a good time. We are a family here tonight, okay? So I wore my tennis shoes. Okay, I wore my sneakers tonight. So if you didn't, take your shoes off. The carpet is all right. It's comfortable. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to feel at home. And we're going to start serving. So Coach Jennings, I'm going to invite your table to go to our catering station. And then I'll come around and invite the rest of you up as we get prepared in the back, okay? At this time, I will want to bring up our illustrious co-founder and president, not yet. Maybe I was speaking that into existence.
Yes,
Hey. Let me say, y'all gonna have me up here cutting up. Co-founder, Miss Shireen Baptiste. Y'all give her a hand as she comes up.
So good evening once again, everyone. So as LaKendra said, my name is Shireen Baptiste. I'm president and co-founder of Dream on Purpose. And so if this is your first function with us and you have never heard of Dream on Purpose before, we are an empowerment organization for youth, but with a specific focus on girls between the ages of 11 to 18. We work with them and inspire them to dream and to activate and achieve those dreams. And so thank you so much for joining us for Dream on Purpose. I hope that by the end of this evening, you'll consider yourself to be an ambassador and you'll be able to tell the next person, right, about Dream on Purpose, so that way next year's dinner will be able to expand into the full room. So I just wanted to spend a little bit of time for you guys to understand how far we've come from when we first started to where we are today, and just allowing me the opportunity to state how grateful I am for each and every one of you, because you are a part of our story. You are a part of Dream on Purpose history. So about 2015, a band of women came together and we were like, let's do something for the young ladies in our community. We felt like they no longer continued to dream because all they saw were the four walls that they were surrounded by. They never got an opportunity to leave those four walls, and so when you don't gain that exposure, you don't know what's out there for you. You don't know what you can achieve. You don't know what's within your reach. And so at that point in time, the three co-founders, which is me, of course, my beautiful sister, Joanne Carinera, and Miss Patrice, so if you could raise your hand, ladies, they all rallied behind me and was just like, you know what, Shireen, sounds like another one of your crazy ideas, but you know what? Because I love you and support you, I got your back, right? And so that was December of 2015. And here we are today in 2021, in which we're hosting an annual dinner, in which there's so many of you guys who are in attendance. And so throughout the years, essentially over the last 6 years, we have been able to serve over 1,500 youth. We have a signature event called Cupcakes and Conversations, which you'll get to learn a little bit more about as Tia and I come up later to talk to you about the Cupcakes and Conversations that we held this year. But that is our signature program. We also host several other programs that you'll have an opportunity to learn about too. So what that means is if you have not subscribed to our listserv, what you guys are going to do is go visit our website, which is dreamonpurpose.org. It's going to pop up. You're going to put your email address in there so that way you can stay connected to what it is that we do and when we have our events and our programs. I just wanted to share something because on my phone, Google will often show me what we were doing last year at this time, what we were doing 5 years ago this time. So it was showing me all of that, and it showed me all of the photos of our annual dinner. Y'all, we started off by going to restaurants, right? And we strategically chose restaurants that would give us a percentage back on the food. But there would be maybe 10, 20 of us that would gather up at a restaurant. We would order off their menu and we would talk about our annual dinner. it brings me so much joy for us to be in a position today where we can actually rent out a hotel room, right? Where we can put together some beautiful decorations. These things may seem minute to you, but they just make me so happy. I was looking at our photos from last year, and just from last year to this year, the fact that we can have beautiful decorations just lighting up the room just shows that we continue to progress and grow each year. And that is what keeps me going, because I'm excited for the Dream on Purpose future. I'm excited for where we're going. I'm excited for the lives of the youth that we're touching and just how we're impacting them. Like back in the day, it was hard to get a testimonial out of our youth. And now we have youth who are just willing to share videos with us, willing to come to our events and talk about the work of Dream on Purpose. So I know that we had a long way to go, but let's celebrate how far we've come. So with that,
I was about to be evangelist Baptiste. You about to preach, but I want you to go too far because we're going to bring up Miss Tia to join you, Shireen, to talk about some of the things that you just mentioned, some of our cupcakes and conversations, and some other events that we have done in 2021. So Miss Tia Paul is coming up. She is a board member for Dream on Purpose. Let's give her a hand. Tia, bring your twin with you. She come to
and so this year we decided to tag team talking about our events because this was the first year in which we were able to install a board. So we've always had a board, it was the 3 co-founders, but we were able to expand into an entire board of 9 individuals. And so for each event, we had a board member that was present that represented the board and represented what it meant to serve Dream on Purpose and was able to speak to our young ladies. They were also able to help us promote the events and help us with any type of connections that we needed in order to make each of them successful. And so it is a pleasure that we can have Tia with us today that can help speak about our events. So as I mentioned before, we have our signature event, which is held quarterly, Cupcakes and Conversations, so you'll notice that we had 4. We started off the year with Economic Empowerment Edition, in which we spoke to our young ladies about financial empowerment and what you can do to make sure that you are financially literate and making sure that you're growing in all the ways, but of course in terms of finances. And so we had really great subject matter experts who came out and spoke to us. We had about 3 speakers. We also had interactive discussions. Even I think Joanne was the Joanne was the team member that led that initiative, and she made sure that our young ladies played this wonderful game in which they learned about finances. And so I wanted to kick it off to Tia so she could talk to us about what her takeaway was from that event.
Yeah, so I believe there was 3 different speakers, and I remember that there was one who was zooming in from Africa. So the power of Zoom came in, and we were able to do an international call, which I think that was really awesome for the young ladies to see. And then as Cherie was just sharing, I was able to be a discussion leader and work with a group of girls to sell coffee. So they learned about what went into, from the 3 different speakers, they learned about what went into running a business and how you could open your own business and what that would look like. And then from there, they were able to say how much sugar, how much milk, how much cream they wanted in the coffee. And so at the end, whoever had raised the most money for their business was able to win a prize. So Dream on Purpose always brings the good gifts and prizes after each event. And so that was really neat to see the young ladies learn from the speakers and then use that through the game. So that was the big takeaway from that event.
So for the second quarter, we held Too Blessed to Be Stressed. So we realized that our youth are living in a society in which stress is considered the norm, right? And it shouldn't be. At the end of the day, what can we do, to better manage the stress that we're going through? If most of us adults are still struggling with that, you must definitely believe our youth is. So that's the reason why we chose to put on Too Blessed to Be Stressed. We had speakers who came and spoke to our young ladies about different coping mechanisms and strategies that they can execute whenever they're feeling stressed. and just making sure that they're able to navigate life more efficiently. So what was your takeaway from that one?
So I have to say, this is one I did not attend, but I'm sure it was good, and the girls were able to learn about, just coping mechanisms and things that they could do outside of the event. And I know that we partner with Dream on Purpose typically to do different wellness events, so I know that some of that kind of comes through this, but if anybody, I don't know if the DOP person.
So LaKendra was the team member who actually hosted Too Blessed to Be Stressed. You want to say a word?
A word. Sure.
Thank you.
I'll bring a word about Too Blessed to Be Stressed. Too Blessed to Be Stressed, like Shireen said, was an opportunity for us to share coping mechanisms with our audience. We've gone through a pandemic where the kids have been at home. We don't know what their home lives are like. Sometimes that in itself is just stressful enough. And then not being able to socialize with their friends and have an outlet during this time period that we're in now. So we had speakers, we had some therapists, licensed therapists who joined us, and we had breakout sessions so they can have an opportunity to kind of talk about the things that they've experienced and to get that professional feedback. We played some videos for them to say, hey, maybe these are some things that you're experiencing. And I used emojis to say, these are some things that you can use to communicate how you're feeling with your friends, your family, your teachers, ways that they already taught, right? But and to make it easier and to show them these are tools that you already have at your disposal, and these are ways that you can communicate how you're feeling, and not to be afraid to try to talk to people about what they're feeling, and to have an outlet to share some of those emotions and to get assistance.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shireen.
So for the third quarter, we hosted College Discoveries, which we've been able to host for the last 3 or 4 years. And so it's just a blessing that we have been able to continue with this series. And so the team member who led College Discoveries is none other than Ms. Verlisa. It was her very first event that she planned with us, so trust me, she was nervous, but I had to just really encourage her and remind her that we got her back. And at the end of it, she was on cloud 9. So thank you, Ms. Verlisa, for that. For College Discoveries, we often partner with the Gainesville Chamber, we partner with the Education Foundation, we partner with the University of Florida, we partner with Santa Fe College, we partner with just a host of organizations to make sure that we're bringing information to our youth about college. And so right in the community, there's a lot of information about financial aid, there's a lot of information about how to apply for college, but we felt like what was missing from that equation is when you get to college, what do you do? When you get to college, how do you make friends? When you get to college, how do you balance your time? So some of the softer aspects of the college experience, and so we brought in a panel of students, college students who either recently graduated or are still in college. They were able to speak about their experience. And when I say we had a long list, we had like 13 speakers because it was a 2-day series that just spoke about various topics. And so I think you were one of our speakers, Tia.
Yes, I was able to just share college readiness. I work at the Education Foundation of Alachua County, and we give out college scholarships to seniors as well as students in our Take Stock in Children program. So I was able to speak on that and also help to recruit members to be on the panel. And I think that was probably the most dynamic part for me, was just having the girls be able to ask questions of the speakers who are currently in college and get that feedback so that they could look forward to that experience. And they were able to really expose them to different things that they had taken advantage of, including involvement in different organizations at the University of Florida and Santa Fe College. So I think that was the big takeaway for me with that event. And then also that 78 people, I believe, were on that call. So because we sent out 78 packages, so I know there were 78 youth who attended that event. So 78 youth on a Zoom call who came back the next day, participated. That's really big. Like, that's not an easy feat. And just to know that the board and the team advertised it, marketed it, got it out there, and were able to impact 78 students' lives is a great achievement.
So we rounded out the Cupcakes and Conversation series with We Say Stop. So that one was dedicated to domestic violence awareness and prevention. And so we partnered with Partnership Against Domestic Violence, which is actually an organization out in Georgia, and they were able to partner with us to host this program. They spoke to the young ladies about how to identify whether you're in a healthy or unhealthy relationship, and if you are able to identify that you're in an unhealthy relationship, what you can do, what measures you can take, and what your rights are in that situation, making sure that you navigate it safely for yourself. So that was an awesome program in which we were able to share that type of knowledge. And were you in attendance?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think one of the big takeaways with that is that we were able to learn from the speakers and then go into breakout rooms and be able to talk. And through one of the speakers, what we learned is like if you are in a healthy relationship or unhealthy, you know, you can think of an H. So H means healthy, and then an A means that you need some assistance, that the relationship might not be as good, and that you need somebody to lean on. So H for healthy, A, I'm probably not in the best space that I should be. So I think that was the biggest takeaway that I seen from my group.
And I guess I was the team leader that led that one. It's always awkward to talk about myself, so I would have preferred to leave that out. But since I called out all the other team members for the other events, I would announce that. Then we also had our very first crown placement. And so this program was led by an intern that we had with us at the time. She has now moved on to bigger and better things. She was at the University of Florida, and she was also a track athlete. So she spent some time with us, and she said she was really passionate about, you know, giving back to young ladies and making sure that they understand that they have to take care of themselves through mind, body, and soul. And so that was the purpose of crown placement. And what distinguished that one from Cupcakes and Conversations is that it was a little bit like a funner topic, if you can say, because the young ladies, they got to get together, they talked about hair care, they got to talk about skincare, they got to talk about fashion. So like all the fun things that a young lady would want to talk about and learn about and make sure that they receive resources in, that's what crown placement was dedicated to. So essentially we took that as an opportunity to remind you that each and every one of you wear a crown, whether you choose to recognize it or not. And at the end of the day, make sure you always straighten your crown. And if you can't do it, then another sister who is next to you will help you straighten your crown. So last, we ended out our year with this wonderful program called Career Launch Intensive. So we host that one in partnership with Lifehouse as well as Gainesville Black Professionals. And so unfortunately, Kiara could not be with us this evening. However, she has attended every single annual dinner that we have ever hosted, and she's just a really huge supporter and partner with Dream on Purpose. So it was a 2-day event. We got together, we did a workshop with the young ladies where they got to learn about how to take steps towards your dream career. And then the next day we took them shopping at Ross and we bought them interview-ready clothes. So this year we had about 6 young ladies who participated in the program. They had so much fun with it and just really enjoyed the outfits that came out of it. So at the end of the day, we really believe in stewardship and always saying thank you, and just being grateful to those who support us. And so we would not have been able to make it through the year of 2021 without our corporate funding partners. So thank you so very much to the Community Foundation of North Central Florida. We were able to win a grant writing award with them, and so that helped fund our Cupcakes and Conversations for the year. For Career Launch Intensive, we had Ross as well as Robinson Financial Group, so thank you so much to them. They helped fund the clothes that we were able to purchase. And of course, thank you so much to First Federal Bank for being our Amazing Give corporate sponsor. So hey y'all, the Amazing Give is an opportunity for everybody to like give money to like charities that you feel passionate about. And so if you are with an organization, you would like to be a corporate sponsor, hey, you know, just remember us, Dream on Purpose. Or if not, and you just want to donate as an individual, we will be looking forward to you doing that with us in 2022. And of course, we couldn't have made it without our partners, so thank you so very much to the Greater Gainesville Chamber, to the Alachua County Education Compact, to the Education Foundation, Alachua County Public Schools, Santa Fe College, Gainesville Black Professional, Lifehouse, Unity Tabernacle, Partnership Against Domestic Violence, University of Florida. So thank you.
Let's give our sponsors and our partners a round of applause and thank them. Now don't get shy. I said don't get shy. Don't get shy. We have some young ladies that participate in most of our cupcakes and conversations, if not all of them, and we are so glad to have them here with us tonight to give their own remarks about Dream on Purpose and how the organization helps them and what they enjoy about Dream on Purpose. So Tanaya and Tanea Daniels, if you will please come up. Come on up, babies.
Hi, my name is Tanaya. And my name is Tanea Daniels. And today we will be talking about Dream on Purpose and how they influenced us. We have been a part of Dream on Purpose. We have been doing Dream on Purpose events for almost 2 years now, and they have influenced us to become young female leaders. Some of our events, like they said before, we talked about finances, how to set goals and how to reach them, and a lot of other things. Attending these events have made us stronger and better, and they have really just influenced us a lot. And now we can speak up and be heard. Because before we started doing that, we was very shy. And yeah. I would like to say thank you to Miss Baptiste for everything that she does for us and everyone around her. You're such a great influence on literally everyone that you know and have met. And I hope the rest of everybody enjoy their night.
Good evening, everyone. Y'all look so wonderful. Did y'all enjoy your food?
Yes.
Are y'all ready for the speaker tonight?
Yes.
Y'all ready to hear some amazing words?
Yes.
All right, y'all gonna be patient with me while I get my
Tell
notes?
Coach Jen how to say your name because she'll be trying to sound it out.
Break it down. Carinera.
Oh, Karen.
The G is silent. Yes.
I always want to make the G. Do something.
I'm over like, how good enough.
That would work too. That would work too. All right, y'all. So, I was reading a book, and the author starts talking about coaches, and I'm like, how fitting, right? Because we have Coach Jennings coming to speak to the ladies. And what he said about a coach was this. He said, this was author John Shipp, and he talks about the characteristics of an effective coach. And he says, a coach has clear authority and knows how to exercise that authority. A coach really matters and affects the outcome. Coaches provide tangible things, like making sure their players develop their skills. Practices run smoothly, and morale is boosted through the ups and downs of the season. But then he goes on to say great coaches also bring tangible things, such as changing the emotional health in the culture of the organization they're working with, improving honest communication, and providing motivation. Great coaches, he says, helps everyone achieve more than they thought they could. So with that understanding, please join me in welcoming our esteemed special guest, Coach Special Jennings.
I'm short, so it's you know what, that was a great introduction. That was great. I really try to, whenever I speak to a group, to me it's more meaningful for me to be able to talk from my heart as opposed to me standing here reading from a piece of paper and it not feel genuine. When I got the email about Dream on Purpose, it was an automatic yes for me. I didn't know much about the program. I didn't know much. My wife was like, hey, I met a lady. She asked me, could you do this? And it's great. It's a great cause for. And I was just like, sure. What is it about? She's like, I'm not sure, but it sounds really good. You should be a part of it. And so, looking up the organization and kind of searching and doing my own research, I'm all about anytime that individuals are giving back to our youth. I think that I'm so big. I'll use this. I'm so big about the youth right now because when I get older and I get old, the youth is who's going to be taking care of us. So I want to be in great hands. But I start by asking, what is leadership? You know, I ask this question all the time. Every time I speak, what is leadership? Can anybody in here, any of the youth, tell me what do you think leadership is? Not the Wikipedia definition, like what is leadership? Go ahead, you look like you want to go ahead.
I feel like leadership is being able to guide everyone down the right path and being able to keep everybody connected, even during hard times and when you're dealing with adversity and when you're dealing with things that are just not working out for y'all. I feel like a leader keeps everybody together and like kind of leads them through a storm.
Anybody else? Leadership? Any thoughts on leadership? Adults? Anybody? Leadership? What is leadership?
More like foundation. For one, that would be more like drifting. They're like a guide, a light. Strong foundation for maybe for the weak or for the destitute or for one that is drifting. I'll just do that, drifting. Yeah. But
So in my experience, I think that I used to think about it all the time. Like when as a player, I was a leader on the floor, right? I was the point guard. I was the extension of the head coach. As a coach now, I am the leader of our team. So for me, when I think about the word leadership, to me, leadership is influence, and that's for good or for bad. You have some leaders that lead people in the wrong direction, and then you have leaders that lead people in the right direction. And so when I think about this journey as a coach, I think about how I lead. What is the example? What will my players say about me when I'm not in the room? What will people say about me when I'm not in the room? That to me is leadership, influence. Am I influencing our young ladies to do? It's bigger than basketball. I barely ever talk to our girls about basketball. Basketball is what they do. It's not who they are. It's bigger than basketball. Life happens after basketball. So a lot of coaches are preparing their kids for basketball. I'm preparing my kids for life. And because the ball at some point will stop bouncing for everybody. Whether it be they just don't want to continue. Some young ladies, like some of my players, they play basketball now. They may want to go to college because it helps them get that education. They want a scholarship so they can pay for a degree that parents can't pay for. Some of my other kids have aspirations of being an Olympic gold medalist. Some of my other kids have aspirations of just going to college to become business owners. Some want to be lawyers, some want to be doctors. And so I'm preparing them for life. And within every practice that we have within our program, at the head of our practice, everything is about discipline. Discipline. No matter what you do in life. Work at McDonald's, Taco Bell, whatever you so choose, doctor, lawyer, beauty pageant, own your own business, catering, whatever the case is, you have to be disciplined. Like being on time, that's being disciplined, right? Time management, that's discipline. Being able to work with others is a discipline. There's days where I'm sure your parents can say, they go to work and be like, Lord, if she say something else to me today. Like, literally. But they have to have that discipline because they know that them bills is due. Got to take care of them kids. They lose their job, can't put no food on the table. That's discipline. Things aren't always going to go our way. There's plenty of times in life where things happen to me and I was like, man, if I really turn up and act the way I want to act, that's going to follow me. I'm young, I'm African American, I'm female. Society has already taught me from a young age that women are to act a certain way, right? We're to act a certain way. We're to sit and cross our legs, to pull our skirts down. We're to, a lot of things. I can go down a list, okay? So society has already put that in your mind. And so, discipline. I have to be disciplined enough to know how society thinks. And perspective. Sometimes perspective, some people say, well, that's the sad thing. Perspective is reality. It's not always true. It's not always true. Some people's perspective of me is different. I'm direct, straightforward. I'm very blunt. I'm honest. And that could rub people the wrong way. So if I rubbed you the wrong way, your perspective would be very different to me. Then there's some people that can appreciate someone that can just come straight forward and tell them the truth. Hey, look, I don't appreciate the way you just talked to me. Hey, look, what you're doing is not okay. I just had a conversation with a lot of the gentlemen over here. Like perspective. Sometimes as athletes, we think that we're right. Now, coach is tripping. We go home, we tell our parents, look, Mom, I'm doing everything right. I don't know what's wrong with coach. Coach don't like me. It's coach. It ain't me, it's coach. And perspective. As young people, we never sometimes, we don't sit back and think like, well, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? How do I help myself? How do I, whatever the circumstance is, how do I help me? What do I do wrong? I'll use an example. When I was in college, right, as a freshman, I'm coming out of college, I'm coming out of high school, I'm all everything. Jersey's retired, I'm all state, all this, all that. I get to college and I had that same mentality. That, oh, I'm Special Jennings. I'm gonna walk up in here and the book is already written. I'm in the book. Like, I'm Special Jennings. I didn't start my first 7 games in college. Here's why. I had no discipline. I thought I knew it all. And my character, like my character kept me from like understanding the lesson that my coaches were trying to teach me. I had no discipline. I mean, I thought I knew everything. Like, you don't got to tell me, I know. Freshman. And I did not start the first 7 games. Now, was I unhappy? Absolutely. Why? Because I was clearly skill-wise better than the person that was in front of me. But mentally, emotionally, and all the other intangible things, I was not there. I was not ready. And for them first 4 games, I sat on that bench and I was like, I'm about to transfer. Coach think he gonna bring me here for me to sit, and he ain't gonna play me. Do he know who I am? Do we? I didn't understand because I knew it all. I wasn't disciplined. My character was throwing tantrums. In practice, I was throwing tantrums. And at that very moment, like it wasn't until that 5th game when I actually went and asked one of the assistants, Coach, what's going on? Why did y'all bring me here not to play me? And that coach, we're still friends to this day, Carla Morrow. She is the assistant coach now at Ohio State. She said, is it that we're not playing you or you're not doing what you need to do for you to be able to play? And I was like, kind of stood there for a minute like, I show up to practice every day. I'm here. So yeah, I think I'm doing what I'm. Do you come in with a good attitude? Are you attentive in practice? Are you a good teammate? Do you go to class? Do you work hard? And a lot of times, like, y'all's definition of working hard and a coach's definition of working hard, completely different. Your down and back, and you think you ran it hard, and my down and back, and how I think it should be ran, completely different. But again, like the lesson is the discipline. The discipline. I wasn't disciplined. And I was telling the gentleman that I was speaking to over here is that the best thing that ever happened to me in my life was like hearing the words no. No. Like a coach told me no. And it stuck with me. It stung for a very long time. The gentleman shared his story about how he didn't make the team. It's okay. It's okay. That should fuel you. Like there should be like a burning desire inside of you. Like you should go every day into practice and just become so good that you make a coach look crazy for not playing you. Like that's what that did for me. When I heard no, that made me go work harder. It just made me work harder. All right? Like we have to have this discipline. That like when things aren't going right, we got to stay disciplined. When they're going good, you got to stay disciplined. And I say that because a lot of people, once they think they've made it and they become undisciplined, there's a lot of pros that's at home that don't have jobs because they didn't stay disciplined. They didn't stay the course. All right? Comparing yourself to other people. That's another reason a lot of people fail. We make a lot of comparisons. I want to be like so-and-so. I'm better than so-and-so. I should be right here with so-and-so. Comparisons. I never compare myself to anybody but myself. Why? Because I purposely I want to be better than what I was the day before. That's my comparison. I'm not comparing myself. When I was a player, I didn't compare myself to other players. As a coach, I don't compare myself to other coaches because some people's ceiling is my floor. I got further to go. Sometimes you can be comparing yourself to somebody that's maxed out. They've maxed out. They're at capacity of where they're going. So some people's ceiling is my floor, meaning I got more to do. Like there's so much more to me. There's a fire in me. I'm fueled to not stop at somebody else's max. And when we compare ourselves and we try to be like somebody else, you might be blocking your own blessing. I want to be like so-and-so. Well, so-and-so stopped here. So what do you do when you get to where so-and-so is? Do you stop? Do you keep going? So, we can't compare. A lot of times we fail as people because we compare our journeys. Time frame. Stop putting time limits on what you're supposed to be doing. I'm 16 and I don't got a scholarship yet. Okay. Stay the course. I'm 17 and I don't have a scholarship yet. Stay the course. I'm a senior in college. I'm a senior in high school and I don't have a scholarship yet. Stay the course. Everybody gets to their destination when they're supposed to get there. Right? It'd be an epic fail for me to say, man, Don Staley already won a national championship. I haven't won one yet. Don Staley already won. I haven't won yet. I'm not Don Staley. Her course is completely different than mine. The way I get to my championship is not the same way she may get to her championship. For all you gentlemen that's playing football, all right? Somebody may have Division I scholarships right now. Somebody may have Division II. That just means work harder. I don't stop working hard because somebody has something different than what I have. That fuels me to work harder. But y'all journey can be completely different. I can have a Division I scholarship. They can have a Division II scholarship. They go D2 and outwork, and they come Division I, outwork, and now they're better than what I am. But everybody's journey is going to look different. Do not compare yourself. Again, if you don't hear nothing else I'm saying, somebody else's ceiling can be your floor. Do not compare your journey to somebody else's. Everybody got that? Yes, y'all got any questions so far? I don't like feeling like I'm talking at y'all. I feel like I'm just going. And I just keep going. Yes, sweetie, yes.
What made you become a coach?
Passion. When I was playing. As a player, my basketball was just in me. Coaching was just in me. And it's not just a sense of playing basketball. It's what I'm doing now. Coaching has allowed me to come talk to you all. Right? Coaching has allowed me opportunities just to give back and to just try to throw little nuggets and gems, and hopefully somebody in here will catch it and it'll help them in their journey. So that's why I love coaching, because I'm able to give that knowledge and give back. Go ahead.
What was the most impactful thing somebody's ever told you?
Most impactful thing. It's hard, but it's fair. Life is going to beat you down in every way possible. My hand is no worse than a lot of other people's. I can sit back. I could have sat back as a teenager and said, I was raised by my grandmother. My mother is a recovering drug addict, which she is. My parents wasn't in the house. My sister, we were separated in high school. All those things. There's a lot of things that you can use, excuses. But life, it's hard, but it's fair. I didn't allow my circumstances to keep me in those circumstances. I use my circumstances to motivate me to want more and do better. Y'all got any more questions? Sir?
Your worst and your best critics, who were they?
My worst critic?
And your best, yeah.
My worst, man, my little sister is hard on me, y'all. Oh, man. Woo-wee. My little sister is probably my worst critic outside of myself. I think she is, it's so funny. She don't care. I could have just lost in a championship game and she'd be like, yeah, y'all was pretty terrible. Y'all sucked. Like, she gonna give it to you hardcore. She has no sympathy. My worst critic, and then my best critic, I would say probably now in my life is my wife. I think that she definitely balances me, and she definitely brings a different side out of me. I think that she definitely understands the game. She's a former collegiate coach, so she knows basketball. She knows what it takes. She knows that the road and the lifestyle and all those things. And sometimes it's stressful. You know, last week we've been on the road 3 weeks. Last week we played 3 games in a row. We flew back home. We had 1 day, and then we had another game. We had 2 games to prepare. Had a day in between practice, game today. Came here, leaving here tomorrow, going to Georgia. So like, it's stressful, but you need that balance, and she's definitely that. She's the nice one. She give it to me straight, but in a nice way. She's different than my sister. Any more questions?
I have one more.
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about, here's my question. My primary one, of course.
Oh, ask away.
Your parents, mother, father, how important was their role in your life?
I was raised with my grandmother. And so, even to this day, trying to build a rapport with my mom. I've never really had a relationship with my mother. She's a recovering addict. She did time in prison, and we were kind of always at odds based off that. But my father is actually deceased, and so he was great, man. He was great. He was when he and my mom were on and they were good and life was great. My father was shot 9 times, so he was paralyzed from the waist down for majority of my childhood life and on. And so very supportive from the wheelchair. Didn't make a ton of games, but very, very supportive and just a great guy. He passed away 2 years ago, and so, but yeah, they're important because my entire life I've always wanted to be better than my mom. And so outside of using circumstances, I also use that to fuel me. My hopes are that when I become a parent, I'm just different. As a sister, I'm different. As a cousin, I'm different. So just use that to help me become who I am.
Is there an affirmation or a phrase that you've repeated to yourself over time to get through difficult moments in life that you can share with our youth and our adults?
I'm enough.
Oh my God.
I am enough. Yeah, like you have to understand that sometimes, like, and as your own critic, you'll feel like, man, I could be doing more. I could be doing so much more. Or that wasn't good enough. Or that. But a lot of times the critics don't have credentials. Like who is somebody to tell me how good I am or how bad I am, or somebody who don't wear this shoe? Who's to tell me how to walk in it? So I'm enough. I'm good enough. I'm qualified. I'm deserving. I'm enough. Dylan.
How many siblings do you have where it's just your little sister?
I have 6 brothers through my dad, and I have a sister through my dad, and then I have 2 sisters through my mom.
Big family.
Absolutely.
Who was the biggest impression in your life
Melvin Burke Sr. First guy he was the first guy I ever played basketball with. Kind of creepy, actually, how we met. No, you can all this story. Kind of creepy, real quick. I met Burke. I was playing football, actually, and my grandmother's house is across the street from a playground and a recreation center. And so Burke he's a youth coach. And obviously I didn't know that at the time, we didn't know each other. And so he happened to be at the park one day and he was watching us play. He was like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, Special. Why? You know, you're kind of a stranger, why are you talking to me? And so we left it at that. And I guess he went into the rec and kind of asked the rec, did they know me? Did they know who my parents was? Things like that. Kid you not. 30 minutes later, this man had came across the street to my grandmother's house, knocked on the door. I answered the door, I'm like, so I screamed for my grandmother, like, this man followed me home. But long story short, he came to my grandmother's house. He wanted me to play for his travel basketball team. And ever since then, I played travel basketball. I played for All Ohio. I had the opportunity to play for him in high school. And he's still very vital to my life today. Actually, just talked to him this morning, he texted me, but he was more of that sports father on the road. He took me everywhere, drove me everywhere, every tournament, everything. He was that person. And so I'm forever indebted and forever grateful for him and everything. And I celebrate him all the time. I speak about him all the time because, again, he was another person that helped me in this journey.
How are you able to turn your teams around into winning teams to get them to #1 status?
Oh my goodness. Oh, long hours. Long hours. I think that the hardest part about being good is that so last year we were able to be #1 in the country for 13 weeks. Right now ESPN has us ranked as #3 in the country. And I have one of the top players in the country on my team. She's gold medalist, just won FIBA 3-on-3. Also have about 4 other ESPN Top 100 kids. I think the hardest part about coaching or them coming and playing for me is that I push them. I don't coddle them. I don't stroke their egos. I don't ride their waves. I don't tell them that they're great. I don't tell them I don't tell them that they walk on water. I don't. What I do tell them is that it's going to be hard, it's going to be fair, and everything is going to be earned. Whether it be this level, the next level, or whatever other level you want to get to, like, you're going to have to put in the work. I don't care that ESPN has you at whatever. You got to come here and work. And so with us being so good, a lot of those young ladies are used to coming from teams where they the woman. Oh, I got kids that, I'm Janiyah Barker. She's ranked #1 in her position in the country. I don't care. You missed the layup. Get on the line. So there's no wavering from our standard is excellence. I ask them all the time, what's the standard? And they'll say excellence. What does that mean? What is excellence? What does that look like? Coming in every day, working hard, doing what we're supposed to do in the classroom, being great teammates, not good, great teammates, celebrating other people. Sometimes it ain't always gonna be your moment. Today it might be Janiyah, tomorrow might be Jordana, the next day may be Corey, maybe Viv. You gotta be able to celebrate other people. I'm big on that. Everybody can get a piece of the pie. Everybody can win. We can all win. And so the hardest part about great players playing together is that they have to come and understand that. You're not gonna come here and shoot the ball 30 times. Everybody can score 20 points at any time here. But the standard is you're gonna work hard. If you can't work hard, you can't play for me. It's just that simple. And so I think at first they were a little rebellious because, again, when your village is used to stroking you, I was like the bad cop because I'm like, nah, you ain't that good. And that's the first time they've ever been told that. And so we like this. But I'm not gonna waver. So make your decision. And it's that clear for me. And so I think once they realize, like, oh, coach ain't gonna change. Let me get myself together. They understand. And that's how we're able to, night in and night out, come in and compete at a high level And oftentimes our margin of error, our margin of victory is by 30 points. And that's why. It's because they understand what it takes. You can't say, I want to hit the lottery and you don't play the lottery. That's backwards. I want to, I want to be the boss of this, but I don't show up to work. I want to be employee of the month, but I don't come to work. It doesn't make sense. So it's hard, but it's fair. Hard, but fair. Anybody?
Earlier you said you shared WIN, the acronym. Would you mind sharing it with the rest of the group?
WIN, W-I-N. We say this all the time. In our locker room, we say it all the time. What's important now? I think sometimes we get so consumed with everything that's going on. Obviously, social media has really grabbed a hold of our attention and a lot of our time. And I try to always ask our kids, what's important now? Today we started, they started their Christmas break. So they're going home from today to the 26th. A lot of my kids are international. I got a kid that's going to Chile, Lithuania, Brazil, different places. But what's important right now? Is it important for you to be worried about already checking out and you already on your way home? Or is it important for us to finish it off, win the game? Play hard, win the game, and then check out. So trying to put that in perspective. During finals week, what's important? Not basketball. Like, what's important right now? You passing, getting the right grade. So I pump that into them. I try to pump that into them. Don't worry about this happened, that happened. What can you control right now? Then that's what's important.
Do you prefer coaching or actually playing basketball?
Ooh, I prefer to coach. I get to touch more people coaching. I get to, my value is so much higher as a coach than it ever was as me playing. All my accolades as a player are mine. As a coach, they're all of my players. They're everybody that's ever been a part of my program. So I get a greater thrill out of coaching than I ever did playing. You got any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
Are these international teams or like high school teams?
So we're a independent school. So actually, I just recruit internationally. So there's a lot of young ladies that's over international. Our game is a little bit different here in the States, and so them coming over to play in the States gives them a better opportunity to be seen by stateside colleges and give them a better opportunity to compete for scholarships. So they like to come over to the States. I'll end with, again, I always like little nuggets, right? Found me another little nugget. Earl Nightingale said, dream what you dare to dream, go where you want to go, be what you want to be. I couldn't end it better, and this was out of one of y'all's fortune cookies. All right? Thank y'all so much. When it's right on time, right?
Thank you so much, Coach Jennings. I just turned 40, and I'm gonna get your number from your wife, and I'm gonna need you to coach me through life, because you dropped some nuggets tonight, and I hope that our youth were listening and that you all were maybe even taking notes like I was. So Coach Jennings, we would really appreciate if you would come back up, and Miss Shireen and Miss Joanne are gonna give you a special thank you, just to show you how much we appreciate you and your wife for traveling.
We would also like to
Sweet.
invite you up.
Mrs. Jennings.
The person that holds it down spends all my money and drives me crazy.
Really? Before you ladies sit
No,
down,
just
can we
wait.
get a photo?
Absolutely.
There's smile. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give it up to our photographer who is doing dual duty.
Okay, so we're gonna briefly do a quick award ceremony. This is our first year doing this, and we thought it was fitting to honor a few people who have made an impact on our organization. Now, there are many people who have made many impacts, but we picked a couple of people. So our first award is going to be Dreamer of the Year, and it's going to go to Miss Janiyah Jackson. Janiyah couldn't be with us tonight, so Ms. Release is going to accept her award on her behalf. We picked Janiyah because she is on every Dream on Purpose call. She's attended every event. She engages. She asks questions. And so we thought it was fitting to give her the award this year. All right. Our next award is going to go to our Person of the Year. And the person we picked this year has really helped our organization. He helped us with establishing our board, going through our bylaws, spent hours answering questions. What did Shania say? It didn't just go in one ear and come out the other, right? This person is none other than David Roundtree. He couldn't be with us tonight, but we will be sending his award to him via mail. And our last award that we're going to give tonight is our Partner of the Year. This organization has listened to our concerns, has helped us receive grants, has given us all type of resources that we've been able to use to get our organization to another level. So we would like to present Partner of the Year to Community Foundation of North Central Florida, here to accept the reward on behalf of the We're so grateful, and we just want to thank everyone for their partnerships this year. We've worked with a lot of people. It takes a lot to put these events together, and so we're grateful to everyone who helped us this year. So I'm going to be really quick, y'all. Just wanted to give you a quick insight into what 2022 is going to look like for us, right? So we're going to continue on with our Cupcakes and Conversations. We're going to host it quarterly. I want to throw this out there. So young people, if you could pull out your phones right now and take down this date, take down this time, because we would love to see you. So when I said earlier that we serve youth, there are specific events that we open up to both males and females. And so our very first Cupcakes and Conversations for the year of 2022 is going to be one of that. So we are going to host it in partnership with the UF Harm Museum of Art. And that's going to take place on February 26th. Somebody check me, y'all. February 26th from 2 to 4. So it's going to be our first Cupcakes and Conversations that we're going to have live in person since we went virtual because of COVID. As I cough. Great. And so we're going to have that at the UF Harm Museum of Art on February 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. There's a wonderful exhibit there that we believe that our youth will benefit from seeing and from having the exposure of. And then continue to follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter, so that way you can stay engaged and know what events are coming up and when. We're going to continue our mentor session with the Education Foundation. That has already been scheduled. I believe it's going to be in February. So looking forward to it, because we're going to be talking about basically how to keep your dream alive, how to keep dreaming, how to keep achieving.
Then we're going to continue on with our crown placement program. So I think we're going to continue focusing on how to take care of yourself, what that self-care looks like, whether it's skincare, hair care, and so on. And we're looking to take Career Launch Intensive to the next level, y'all. So what we're going to do is look to getting more sponsorships, look to getting more financial support, so that way we can put even more young ladies through this program. It really is an investment that we put into our young ladies, and we have one here who can raise her hand. And if y'all want to talk to her about the program afterwards, I'm sure she would be willing to do that, because I'm sure she would kill me if I made her speak out loud right now. But yeah, we're looking to take that program just to the next level. So if you know of an organization or if you know of an individual who can support us, who can give to this program, so that way we can make sure that we're benefiting even more young ladies, that's what we'd like to do. And as always, we will end our year with our Dine with DOP.
Yeah. Okay, ways for you to engage with our organization. If you have a phone, please go on dreamonpurpose.org. I want to see phones out. If you're not already on our mailing list, get on our mailing list. We have a lot of great programs this year. If you are looking to get involved, we can always use team members, and we can always use board members. And just because if you're not in the Gainesville area doesn't mean you can't help or participate, right? We can always use your skills, your subject matter experts in your given fields, and if there are ways that you can help our organization, please get in touch with us. We are always open and willing to work with anyone who's open and willing to work with us. So thank you all tonight.
And now we would like to call a board member, Ian Fletcher, to give a board testimonial.
Good evening, everyone. Can we give the DOP a team a round of applause for their good tonight? So just a little about me. I'm a little Jamaican boy who is a licensed Pentecostal preacher that they gave 5 minutes to speak. It's interesting. And one of the person that gave me 5 minutes is a member of my church. Isn't that interesting? So they asked me to talk a little bit about Dream on Purpose. So a number of years ago, a young lady worked with me, and on my daily walk to Starbucks back then, she told me she had a dream. She had a dream about starting this organization for young girls. And over the years, I've really ribbed her a lot about it, because I told her she was discriminating against boys. And she heard that over and over again from me. As she proceeded, she didn't want to start the organization herself. She just thought she wanted to support someone. Right? And so she reached out, she put her team together, her sister, my wife Patrice, and they started to attempt to help an organization in Orlando. Several meetings, I had the privilege of overhearing them, that it was going off the rails from the beginning. But for some reason, she thought she could really break through, until one day Patrice says, you know, you can do this in Gainesville, right? And I still didn't think she wanted to do that, but then they really put their heads together, and Dream on Purpose was born. And the first event was in February, and I really think the first event at Aquin Jones was a birthday party, because it was right around her birthday. So I think that's why she had the event at that time. And so that was the beginning of Dream on Purpose. It was a really cool organization for young ladies. And I say all those things, and then last year she asked me, would I join the board? And my first thought was, she must be crazy. So currently my life situation is, I sit on 6 local nonprofit boards. I'm an officer on a national foundation board. I'm a treasurer for Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And I'm on the Rotary International Director on the Club of Gainesville Board of Directors. So I was like, serve on another board? So we went and we had lunch one Sunday afternoon, and I asked her, just tell me, even though I knew about the organization, I had to ask, tell me what this board is going to do, what this board is going to look like. And so after that meeting, I decided I would join the board. So I will tell you this. My wife is a co-founder of this organization. My daughter is the logo for this organization. But none of those reasons are why I joined the board. I sat on a board called AMI Kids Gainesville from 2007 to 2012. From 2009 to 2011, I was the board chair. And on the board at that time was the head of the sheriff's office gang unit. And one of the things he used to say to us was, there is nothing for young women in this community. There is nothing for young women in this community. And because that kept ringing in my ears, I had to be a part of Dream on Purpose. And that's why I joined this board.
Let's give him an extra round of applause because he's the only male who sits on this board.
Okay, guys. This is the part where we ask you for money. So, Dream on Purpose is a nonprofit. Everyone who volunteers gives 100% of their time for free. None of us gets paid. We have full-time jobs, we have families, we have pets. We sit on other boards. We work for other organizations. And so it's truly a sacrifice in order for us to not only put these events together, but gain the funds or gather the funds to execute everything. After every Cupcakes and Conversations, we send out a resource kit to our attendees. And in these kits contain items that they can use to help them further develop what they've learned during our Cupcakes and Conversations. Again, that takes time and money. Because of the pandemic, we've had to pivot, and now we're mailing out these kits. And the postage is not free. So we're asking if you can, and if you're willing, to pledge for us. We have pledge cards on the table, and thank you, Vanna. And there's a QR code. If you would scan that QR code, there's a lovely surprise waiting on the other end. Feel free to do with it what you will. One thing I do want to mention is that because of the pandemic, there is an extra tax relief for donations. So you can take a standard deduction, right, every year for those who do your taxes or who works with an accountant. You can do a standard deduction. But because of COVID, there's like an extra $300 for individual filers and an extra $600 for families. So your donation is tax deductible, okay? And we do issue tax receipts for everyone who donates. So look into your heart. Every little bit counts. If you want to do $1 a month, that comes out to $12 in a year. That's one kit, okay? So whatever you feel like doing, please ask God, speak to God, speak to your spouse, and check out our website and do whatever you feel led to do. Thank you all.
Yep, you back.
Yes.
And so, as we come closer to wrapping up tonight's program, as I stated earlier, one of our principles really is stewardship. We really do believe in saying thank you and giving back to our team members and to our board members what we can. So in this moment, we want to honor and we want to thank our team members. Like Joanne mentioned earlier today, none of us are paid. This is all volunteer-led, and if it wasn't for them giving up their time and their resources, events such as this one today could not happen. So thank you to, of course, Joanne, my sister, LaKendra, Ms. Verlisa, Brandy, who couldn't be with us today, as well as Kimberly, who couldn't be with us today. So thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause to our team. The next group of individuals that we would like to thank and acknowledge in this moment is our board. So if you are a Dream on Purpose board member, can you please stand up right now?
much, Jocelyn. We appreciate you.
Shireen, can I say something?
Oh, yes.
So, as they're sharing,
Don't you make me cry.
Since I'm a board member and being recognized, I just want to take a second to thank the two ladies who make all of this possible. They do so much, and they treat their team and the board as family. And I think that's the key, the secret sauce to the success of this organization is that we can come together and we're willing to do whatever it takes to make these programs happen for the youth. We work together, several different organizations to come together. And so I want to take the time to thank both Joanne and Shireen today for all that they do. They don't have to do it, and they do it out of the kindness of their heart. They don't get paid, and they always thank us, but it's really them that makes it happen. So thank you.
Y'all gonna make it? I'm about not to make it myself. Have I got a trash fan?
Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Once again, thank you so much, Coach Special Jennings, for coming out and speaking to our audience and just being as pleasant and as willing as you are. And of course, thank you so much, Amber, for just believing in us and from the very beginning and like allowing this and making this happen for us. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So we wanted to thank Mark Radio, Magic 101.3. So I don't know if you guys have been listening to the radio, but they've been playing our PSA on there. They didn't have to do it, but they did. And they've been playing our PSA, so of course we wanted to honor them and say thank you to Magic 101.3. We would also like to thank B&E Catering. So can you put your hands up if you enjoyed your dinner tonight, if you loved it, if you're going to take it to home? Yes. Let's give it up for them. So if you take a look and you look back there, what you'll see is plenty of to-go boxes. So I kept a very close eye on the registration, and instead of bringing back the number, what I said was we're going to keep it at that number so everyone can take a plate home. So please make sure you take a plate home, and thank you so much once again. So let's give it up to our photographer and our videographer.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Get a hug too.
Yeah.
And thank you once again to Fairfield Inn. So if y'all just appease me for a quick second. This venue is one of the best venues I've ever worked with. They don't nickel and dime us. They ask us what is our vision. They execute it. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's, hey, can we borrow those mini Christmas trees from your lobby? They're like, yes. They make it happen. So if you guys ever need to host a venue here in Gainesville, I am highly recommending Fairfield Inn. They're awesome, and all of their staff is friendly. Even the bartender, Mitch, which y'all gotta go see him. He's a character, okay? He's a character. So I wanted to make sure I took that time out to give Fairfield Inn their due, because we've gone from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, but I can honestly say that we found a home for our annual dinner, and it's Fairfield Inn.
And before we say our final thank you, of course, we could not leave without honoring our president, Shireen Baptiste. She works hard. She wakes up with the laptop. She goes to sleep with the laptop. Okay? That if you want to know how she lives, just imagine that. Okay? She gives of herself relentlessly. She works with the youth. She knows that is her calling, and she does so with no exceptions. And she does it with excellence. She sees a vision, she has a vision, she executes it with excellence. She networks with the community so that she can get the resources that she needs to help these young ladies. So we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart. We love you, and we know God is going to bless you for all that you do. Thank you. So my sister knows I'm gonna kill her after this because I was like, can we skip the whole like part where we give each other gifts this year?
It was
And she said yes.
She said yes.
Sacrifice. You know, if y'all don't see me past tonight, y'all know what happened, okay? Last and most certainly not least, we want to thank y'all because y'all didn't have to be here. Y'all didn't have to take time out of your schedules. You didn't have to take money out of your pockets to purchase a ticket to be here with us tonight. But you thought it was fitting of your time. You thought it was fitting of your money. You thought it was fitting of your energy. And we want to thank you so much for being here with us tonight and for making this happen. We do look forward to filling more seats next year. And we know with your help, we'll be able to do that. But this year, we just want to thank you because you're great and you're awesome and you chose to spend your evening with us. So, Coach Jennings mentioned it when she was up there. Everybody has a fortune cookie. So go ahead and open it up. It has a fortune inside of it. It has a fortune on one side, and on the back side, it has today's date. It has today's event, so you'll always remember where you read that good fortune from.
And get a handful.
We also have 300 fortune cookies, so take some home. They're on that back table. Take those home, take home the cupcakes, take home the Hershey Kisses that we have on the table out there. Thank you so much. And once again, we appreciate you for closing out the year of 2021 with Dream on Purpose.